For quarterback Neil Lomax, a chance to bury the doubts and questions with team success in a year of personal glory. For wide receiver Roy Green, a payoff for all the countless pass routes and spectacular touchdown grabs. For strong safety Leonard Smith, a reward for several grueling seasons as the last resort on defense. And for head coach Gene Stallings, out to win his biggest game against his mentor across the field, Tom Landry. For the St. Louis Cardinals, victory today means the playoffs. Stadium in Irving, Texas, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys, and it can't get any simpler than this. If the Cardinals win, they will go to the playoffs. If they lose, the Minnesota Vikings go as a wild card. And good afternoon again, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton. Yesterday, when the Cardinals landed at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, the Vikings were in front by 10 points, and there was dismay around the Cardinals. When they got to their hotel, the score was tied, and then suddenly eruption on the 7th floor of the Cardinal headquarters when the Redskins won in overtime, giving the Cardinals a great opportunity. And Terry Bradshaw, it must be terrific to go into a situation knowing that if you win, you're in.
I was down on the field when the Cardinals came out to warm up, Dick, and they were screaming and hollering, barking like dogs, full of emotion. I thought, I flashed back and I said, this can't last forever. Emotion like that will drain you and wear you out. Neil Lomax is the key. He has to remain calm. I believe he will.
I think the Cowboys are also glad that the Cardinals have a shot because it makes their game more important. They knocked the Rams out of the playoffs last week. They're trying to do the same with the Cardinals this time.
Hey, if I'm going to go down, I want to take you with me, right? Last week they took the Rams with them, and now today the Cowboys say nothing better. We like it because if they lose something. We're not going to make the playoffs, but they can if they beat us. We're going to take the Cardinals with us. We're going to beat them today.
All right, Terry, and the Cardinals have won the toss, and they will receive. Roger Ruzek will be kicking off. That's Bai Sikahema on the left, and on the right is Derek McAdoo. The Cardinals won the opening game of the year against the Cowboys and will try to win the closer and get into postseason play. And an end-over-end kick and a Sikahema on the 9. Sikahema dives beyond the 30-yard line where the tackle is made by Russ Swan. So Neil Lomax, who's as hot as any quarterback in the NFL, will be facing this Dallas Cowboys defense this afternoon. Up front, the four-man line, Ed Jones, Kevin Brooks, Randy White, and Jim Jeffcoat. The linebackers, Steve DiAsi is starting at outside linebacker, Jeff Rohrer at the right linebacker, and Ron Burton in the middle. Walls and Francis the corners, Vince Albritton is the strong safety, and Michael Downs the free safety. First down and 10, and Stump Mitchell gets the call and picks up about 5 yards on the play. Steve DiAsi and Ron Burton make the stop on Mitchell, who's had a hot 3 games. The rest of the St. Louis offense, Ron Wolfley, who's going to the Pro Bowl, starts with Mitchell. J.T. Smith and Roy Green also with the wide receivers. And up front, the line looks like this. Sharp, Pete, Kennard, Smith, and Tootie Robbins, and Robert A. Walt, the tight end. Second down and 4. Lomax with his first pass, and he's got a first down just shy of midfield. J.T. Smith, and with that reception, has broken his own club record for catches. That's his 81st of the year. Manny Hendricks makes the stop, good for 11 yards.
Wasn't a lot to that for Lomax. A little play action to hold the linebackers, but when you're throwing out wide to your wide receivers, play action doesn't really affect anyone. It doesn't affect the corners. Smith just beats Hendricks. Lomax got him the ball.
Amazingly enough, Smith is not going to the Pro Bowl as a starter or alternate. But a first down for the Cardinals at the 47. They move Mitchell wide to the right. Penalty markers down. Wolfley gets the call. The referee today is Pat Haggerty.
Going to call a false start on the Cardinals, Dick.
That's what the call is, a 5-yard penalty. It is chilly here in Dallas, as you can see with the gloves. Temperature 40 degrees as we start. Neil Lomax, he's going to the Pro Bowl as he recaptured his form 3 years ago. Look at those numbers. That says it all. First down and 15 for St. Louis on their own 42-yard line. back to the line of scrimmage at the 47-yard line. He gets 5 yards back, and so it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Cardinals.
Something you very seldom see Lomax do is run with the football. But we're talking about first drive, big game, and one of the biggest games that Lomax has been in a long time, and the emotional aspects of this. This is already a very significant drive on behalf of the Cardinals, evidenced by Lomax scrambling that time. Normally would have thrown it.
2nd down and call it 11 for St. Louis. First series of downs here in this final regular season game. Lomax is going for J.T. Smith and overthrows him. Manny Hendricks was covering on the play, and that will bring up 3rd and long. Lomax finished the game against Tampa Bay. He had a brilliant effort at 76%, hitting on 16 of his last 17, and so far 1 for 2 in this one.
And the guy, Lomax, was criticized the last 2 years because, hey, the Cardinals didn't win, so who do you pick on? You pick on the quarterback, but he wasn't throwing the ball deep. He wasn't getting it to his wide receivers, throwing a lot of short passes, and wasn't being the Lomax, the mad bomber from Portland State that Cardinals fans had come to admire and respect.
3rd and 11, Troy Johnson is in as a 4th wide receiver. Out of the shotgun. Lomax fakes and will run and will be close to first down yardage as Lomax is knocked out of bounds in Dallas territory by Vince Albritton. He'll mark the ball at the 44, and he may be a yard short.
Anytime you jump into man coverage, there's no one that is going to cover the quarterback, meaning he can get out and run all over the place and there'll be no one there, and that's what happened. Lomax got out wide. His receivers were running all over the field with a man covering him, no one on Lomax, and he scrambles trying to make the first down.
Gene Stallings, who spent 14 years as the defensive secondary coach of the Dallas Cowboys, 13 of those years going to the playoffs with Dallas, now on the other side of the field. The measurement over at the sideline. We can't see the ball. And they are shy by just a short margin. So Stallings now with 4th down and inches.
What do you do? 4 inches?
Terry, you're the quarterback.
Yeah. What do you do? I say go for it. Hey, that's what this is all about. Last game, leave nothing on the table. Let's play all the cards. Play everything we have. Let's go for it.
I think they're going to do just that. So it'll be 4th down and less than a yard. The Cardinals have been very successful connecting on 10 of 16 4th down situations this year. The ball is sitting on the 43 of Dallas. Cardinals won the opener against the Cowboys 24-13 with 3 scores in the final 2 minutes. Here's a big early play. And they go to Mitchell, and he's got the first down. So the Cardinals going for it on 4th and inches get the first down with ease, and they'll mark the ball just about at the 40-yard line. Ron Burton and Vince Albritton combined to make the tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. And Terry, what problems do the Cowboys have? They have had 3 linebackers going out with broken fibulas in successive weeks, and they're banged up in the secondary as well.
Yeah, one of the problems that the Cowboys have is that they can't blitz. They have to be very careful today and hope that the pressure will come from their down linemen. They can't do it with their linebackers or their safeties.
First down for the Cardinals. They've held the ball all the way so far. Lomax, and wide open is Wolfley, but he drops the ball incomplete. Vince Albritton starting in place of Bill Bates, who went out with a sprained knee against the Rams, and Manny Hendricks is starting in place of rookie Ron Francis, who had to come out of the Rams game with a pulled hamstring last week. So 2 changes, not 1 in the Cowboys secondary.
You know, it's one thing I noticed about Lomax's football when it leaves his hand, Dick. On the short passes, the nose of the ball is always down, restricting a large amount of the football for the receiver to grab. That time, I believe Wolfley would have caught that ball had it been up, the nose had been up.
2nd down and 10, St. Louis. Pitch to Mitchell, and he's hit smack at the line, maybe a yard by Ron Burton. Diassi normally is a middle linebacker. They moved him to left linebacker. And Burton, who had a solid game in the middle against the Washington Redskins, a rookie free agent from North Carolina, that may be his most comfortable position.
Well, he had the one game against the Redskins in the middle. That's why he starts this game and not Diassi. Obviously, they feel Diassi was better suited to the outside. Burton has the experience, although it's his first year. You know, one game experience. What edge does it give him?
Third down and 9. Victor Scott and Robert Williams in extra backs for Dallas. Lomax has Jay Novacek as tight end for a first down and barrels for more and is knocked out of bounds at the 21-yard line by Manny Hendricks, and he was wide open. An 18-yard play, and the Cardinals are still going.
All-out blitz. Victor Scott, 22, and Burton, 57, the linebacker and the safety, coming up inside, blitzing Lomax as Novacek just comes out and makes a little down, about out 8 yards, and gets the catch. One of the things that the Cowboys do not want to do today is blitz Lomax with their safeties and linebackers. They don't feel they have the people that can cover the wide receivers.
First down for the Cardinals, just beyond the Cowboy 20-yard line. Quick pass out to the side to Robert Awalt, the tight end. Incomplete. Awalt, the rookie sensation who replaced Novacek when Novacek went down with a fractured bone in his elbow. A rookie from San Diego State.
Cardinals like to move their receivers, their tight ends especially, out and use them as wide receivers because primarily they are wide receivers. They're not known for their blocking. They're known for their pass catching. That's certainly what Awalt does best.
The 11th play of the drive coming up right now. Second down and 10, St. Louis. They sent 3 men in motion. Talk about multiple offense. And it's Mitchell up the middle, hit twice. Penalty markers fly, and Stump Mitchell is down at about the 15-yard line.
How do you like that? We'll go to the right with some. We'll send some to the left. We'll shift the back. Then we'll go in motion again, and then we'll just turn around and hand the ball off.
Holding it called against the Cardinals will set him back. Albritton and Jeff Rohrer were in on that last play.
Holding, number 70, offense, second down.
Derek Kennard, the center, who comes out on the shotgun situations when Mike Ruther becomes the shotgun center for the Cardinals. But a penalty will bring the ball back to the 30-yard line, and it'll be second down and 20 for St. Louis. 10:25 remaining, and there's Ernie Stautner, the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, who's been around a long while.
Normally the Cowboys would substitute with their prevent defense, but they're limited in defensive backs, so they stay with their regular starting lineup.
Lomax looking one way, and he completes to Roy Green out of bounds. He'll be shy of a first down by 5 yards. It'll bring up a third down. Everson Wall's making the stop, but that's good for 15 yards, and Lomax is making it look easy when he needs to make the big pass.
The thing that he's doing extremely well is recognizing the defense and going to the isolation man for man. Green was covered by Walls man for man with no blitzing linebackers that time. Very hard coverage to read, but Lomax did an excellent job.
This is the drive by the Cardinals. It's chewed up nearly a little more than 4.5 minutes, and now the 12th play coming up. Talk about ball control. Lomax on 3rd and 5, up the middle and off the hands of Roy Green. He was there, and the pass was thrown a little bit too hard, and the Cardinals had an opportunity to get up on top.
The pass may have been thrown a little too hard, but Roy Green should have made that catch. That's the time. This is the game. This is the drive where you make the hard catches, the great catches. Lomax going back, and he's got Green in his vision all the way. Green makes an inside move, back outside. That ball should have been caught. He should have caught that football for a touchdown.
So it's 4th down, and now the Cardinals will try to get on the board with a 3-pointer. Al Del Greco, who kicks the short ones. Jim Gallery, the long ones. Del Greco, 1 for 2 since coming over from the Green Bay Packers. This will be a 32-yard attempt. Cliff Stout hold. Del Greco's kick is good, and the Cardinals, with a tremendous exhibition of ball control on the first series, use up more than 5 minutes and lead the Dallas Cowboys in the game they must win 3-0. There's Neil Lomax, who only completed 3 of 7 in the drive, but 2 of them were big plays. Novacek 18 yards and Roy Green 15. He missed the chance for the touchdown, but the Cardinals have the lead 3-0.
Right, he missed the chance for the touchdown. A good job, a good read, a good route by Green coming in, then going back across the middle. Ball was high, but I believe he should have caught that ball and made the touchdown.
Jim Gallery will kick off for the Cardinals. Kelvin Martin and Darryl Clack is back. Martin's on the right and Clack on the left. Heading over toward Darryl Clack. Buffs the ball at the 15. Recovers. Penalty markers fly, and Clack is downed at the 27-yard line by Travis Curtis. So penalty, and the guess would be a legal block on the receiving team. What do you think?
Donald Holmes, 83. I was watching him, and he pointed to the Cowboys, so you might be right.
Holding number 61, offense.
Nate Newton. Oh, Nate got in there and got him a hold.
Checking the scores, Indianapolis off to a lead. A victory will wrap up the AFC Eastern title, and a great story this year in football. The Cardinals could be another one if they win this game. They will have the same record as the Minnesota Vikings at 8-7, but a better conference record than the Vikings would give them the nod as a wild card. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys at the 15. Steve Pallure, the quarterback. And he's got his man just shy of the 25-yard line. The pass was complete to Mike Renfro. Freddie Joe Nunn, who has 11 sacks, along with Bob Clasby, Steve Alvord, and David Galloway up front for St. Louis. Anthony Bell, Nico Noga, and E.J. Jr. the linebackers. Carl Carter and Cedric Mack the corners, and Leonard Smith and Lonnie Young the outstanding safeties. And Steve Pallure making his 4th start of the year, coming off a win over the Rams. 2nd and 2. First down as he crosses the 30, brought down by Leonard Smith. The rest of the Dallas offense, Herschel Walker in the backfield along with Timmy Newsome, Kelvin Edwards and Mike Renfro, the wide receivers, Darryl Smith, Nate Newton, Tom Rafferty, Crawford Kerr, and Kevin Gogan. Smith and Gogan are rookies, and Doug Cosby, the veteran tight end. 8:35 remaining in the first quarter. The Cardinals lead 3-0, and the Cowboys have a first down on their own 31. This time Walker finds a hole off right tackle and gets to the 35-yard line, maybe beyond, and a gain of about 5 yards on the play. Making the stop for the Cardinals, 2 men in the secondary, Carter and Young.
Freddie Joe Nunn, a converted linebacker, number 78, playing left defensive end for the Cardinals, comes in kind of tentatively, takes on the block, and then Newton gets the position on him, pushes him outside, and then Walker cuts back up inside. Last week, Tampa Bay gave up or rushed for 163 yards on these Cardinals, so today the Cowboys are saying, hey, we're going to run it.
2nd down and 5 at the 36-yard line. They send Newsome in motion. Pallure up the middle. He's got Cosby, the tight end, close to first down yardage with his forward progress to the 41. Leonard Smith and Nico Noga on the stop. And let's see how close Cosby got. He has already surpassed his total catches from last year. Stallings with a lot of greetings on the field with his former Dallas cohorts, and they're going to measure for this one.
Even admits that when the scores of other teams are brought up, he listens for the Cowboys to find out whether or not they're winning, and when they are, he finds himself to be happy. But today, I'm sure he'll find himself to be happy knowing that he's got the lead right now, 3-0.
They're short by about the length of a football. And of course, someone asked Tom Landry, how do you feel if you beat Stallings and knock him out of the playoffs? And Landry said, I feel bad for a very short instant, then I'd be happy. You know, he's had his own problems.
And you can look at Tom Landry, and I believe him. I believe that face right there. Stallings is a con artist. I know he recruited me in college. He really recruited my mother, Novice. He recruited her. He worked through her fried chicken to get to me. Didn't work, though.
He was smart.
Yeah, but I wasn't. That's why I didn't go to A&M.
Third down and 1. Two tight end formation for the Cowboys. They're on the 41-yard line. They go to Herschel Walker, and Walker may have the first down. And he does, so the Dallas Cowboys have a first down with 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Right now, for an NFL Today report, let's check in with Brent Musburger in New York. Brent?
All right, Dick and Terry, here it comes. The Packers have jumped all over the Saints. Stanley for his second touchdown of the day. Mikowski quarterbacking the Packers, 14-3. Terry, did you ever do this in the end zone? Come on, Mr. Stanley. Back to Dick and Terry.
I like that. I couldn't do that. Sorry, Brent, I couldn't do that.
First down, Dallas, and Newsom gets his first carry of the ball game and is stopped for no gain. Bob Clasby, who had a big game against the Cowboys in the opener, makes the stop on Timmy Newsom.
Newsom's got to feel like a middle child. Very seldom gets to run with the football, very seldom gets to catch passes, gets to do all the dirty work blocking, and then sitting around watching everybody else make a lot more money than he makes.
That's the way it is with fullbacks. 2nd and 10. Valor got hit, but he completes the pass nonetheless to Renfro. Carl Carter was all over him, and they'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Big pressure from the middle by the Cardinals.
A lot of teams, to put pressure on a quarterback, will blitz safeties because they are the most effective. With 57, the middle linebacker, Nico Noga, for the Cardinals, he's a primary blitz target. He's the guy that will be blitzing a lot today for the Cardinals and try to get in Steve Pellure's face. That time he did it.
It'll be 3rd down and 5 for Pellure and the Cowboys. Rod Sadler is in at right defensive end in place of David Galloway for St. Louis. Galloway re-injured his left arm after being sidelined since preseason. 3rd and 5, and Pellure's pass to Cosby is off his hands, incomplete. And covering on the play was Tim McDonald, the nickelback. And it'll be 4th down. And coming in to punt for Dallas will be Mike Saxon.
Cosby should have caught that ball. That was a well-thrown pass by Pellure. Option route by the tight end, something that the Cowboys like to do.
Saxon will be kicking, and there is another Pro Bowl man for the 2nd straight year, Vi Sikahema. We saw him return 176 yards against the Giants for a touchdown. So Saxon will kick. He leads the NFL with most punts inside the 20. Waited a long time to see if a penalty might give Dallas a first down. And Sikahema, that ball sailed on the 11 and goes nowhere in comparison, and is stopped at the 19 by Ron Burton. A 42-yard kick and fine coverage by the Dallas Cowboys, but the Cardinals will have the ball when we return. We are back at Texas Stadium. Dick Stockton and Terry Bradshaw. And the crowd of about 40,000. A few weeks ago, it's against Atlanta. They had the smallest crowd ever at Texas Stadium. And the Cardinals and Gene Stallings thankful that the Redskins beat the Vikings yesterday, and a win today by St. Louis, even though they may not know where they're going to be next year, could send them to the playoffs.
It's like a good omen, isn't it? You're not supposed to be there, then all of a sudden you get those breaks, and then here you have the opportunity to cash in yourself.
Ball is on the 18-yard line. Cardinals 1st and 10, leading 3-0. Stump Mitchell. And Mitchell is hit hard by Michael Downs.
Ron Burton in there to help Michael Downs. You know, this thing that the Cowboys do with their defense is something is to stop the run. You got a leading rusher. They stopped him last week. They held Charles White just 66 yards rushing when the guy was averaging over 140. Now today we're coming in here with a hot back in Stump Mitchell, who's averaged over 100 yards the last 3 games, and he's done nothing so far here in the first quarter.
Cowboys defensive hold the Rams and Skins runners to under 3 yards a carry the last couple of weeks. He was beyond the defense. An incompletion will bring up third down.
Awalt will come underneath the outside receiver, J.T. Smith, who will run the corner out of there. Then Awalt runs to occupy that area. He's wide open, but the problem with this pass was that Lomax had to throw it a little bit higher to get it over the back that was covering Awalt.
Awalt, with only 3 catches last week, was his lowest output. That was against Tampa Bay. Brings up third down and 8 for St. Louis on the 20. Mike Ruther, the center, in the shotgun again. Lomax against pressure hits Troy Johnson. Johnson still going and has a first down for the Cardinals as he's finally knocked out of bounds at the 33-yard line by Vince Albritton and Manny Hendricks, and that was good for 14 yards.
Straight down the sideline. Inside, you'll see Green go. Then on the outside, 87, Troy Johnson goes inside, move, comes back outside on Walls, as then Walls slips down on this wet turf. It's been raining here for 3 days in Dallas. Troy Johnson gets the first down for the Cardinals.
Up to the 34-yard line with just under 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. The Cardinals lead 3-0 on a Del Greco field goal. Lomax hit as he gets rid of it, and it's dropped incomplete. Ron Wolfley out of the backfield, and tremendous pressure, particularly by Jeff Rohrer.
Jeff Rohrer taking a gamble on his own. When the back disappears to his side, he should pull off and cover him, but he comes out on his own and comes in and makes the hit on Lomax. Lomax throws the ball to the receiver, the running back that time, Wolfley, who should have been covered by Rohrer.
Rohrer leads the Dallas linebackers with 4 quarterback sacks this year. It is second down and 10. Lomax going up top for Awalt. Incomplete and defended downfield by Ron Burton, the middle linebacker, who did a good job in covering the tight end.
So many times, opportunity knocks very seldom. When it does, number 57, Ron Burton of the Cowboys, needs to respond to the opportunity. He's got his man Awalt stride for stride down the field, forcing the overthrow.
So for Neil Lomax, it brings up another third down and 10. He has connected on third and long, and now you see Green Bay leading 14-6 in the rest of the scores. If the Saints lose that game, the 49ers wrap up the NFC West, and the Saints will have to be content with the wild card role. Third and 10 Cardinals. Lomax, J.T. Smith has the first down to the 45-yard line. Hendricks on the stop, and Smith knew exactly where he had to be and makes the catch for an 11-yard pickup.
As a quarterback, 2 things I want to do. Number one, I want to have good receivers, and then I want to see blitzes like number 22, Victor Scott. And then when I know that I have great receivers like J.T. Smith, he and I are going to pick these guys apart. You continue to blitz Lomax, and you're going to get burned.
J.T. Smith, the leading receiver in the NFL, has already broken his own club record for reception, over 1,000 yards this year. First down Cardinals, and here is Stump Mitchell with Wolfley blocking, and Mitchell trying to get close to midfield, picks up about 3. And right now for an NFL Today report, once again, here's Brent Musburger. Brent?
All right, Dick, let me give you a playoff update now. Igwebuike nails this field goal for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dickerson had scored for the Colts, so it's 7-3, Indianapolis a winner if they capture this game. Other AFC games, Oilers and Bengals tied at 7. Seahawks and the Chiefs right now. It is 10-7. Chiefs have just gone ahead. Back to Dick.
You know, this shows me, Brent, that there's no such thing as a foregone conclusion, as we're seeing in the final weeks of this season. Second down and 7. Lomax has not completed 2 passes in a row this afternoon. Cardinals on their own 48. Lomax with a lot of time, and it's intercepted by Everson Walls, and Walls brings it back into Cardinal territory and is tackled at the 31. The ball was deflected off the hands of Robert Awalt into Everson Walls.
Anytime you squeeze something, something has to give and pop out. Lomax with a lot of time finally turns around and gets the ball to Awol, who's sandwiched between two linebackers. The ball pops up and lands. Merry Christmas to Everson Walls. Hello, there it is. Thank you.
Vince Albritton made the hit on Awol, and for Walls, that is his 5th interception of the year, and he leads the Cowboys and tack on a 30-yard run, in Dallas now threatening. With 2:09 remaining in the first quarter, Walls with the turnover, and the Cowboys have a 1st and 10 on the 31 of St. Louis. Herschel Walker with Newsom blocking. May have another 1st down for the Cowboys. Close to the 22. Lonnie Young makes the stop on Walker, who is going to the Pro Bowl and leads the NFL in combined rushing and receiving yardage.
If there's a dilemma that Walker poses for the Cowboys, they really don't know how to use him. He's too good at everything, and that's a problem. That really is a problem. I would prefer him being a great running back or a great receiver. I think as Tua, as being both, they create too much offense, which in turn causes a lot of confusion, not only for Walker, but for Pelluer, the quarterback, and everyone else involved.
2nd down and 1, and the flip goes to Walker. Penalty marker down, and Walker has enough for the 1st down, pending the flag, as he is knocked out of bounds at the 16 by Cedric Mack, with E.J. Jr. also in on the play. But Pat Haggerty will tell us about the flag. And it'll go against the Cowboys and nullify the 1st down. They ruled that turnover a fumble and not an interception.
Holding, 84, offense.
Doug Cosby
Still
was
down.
holding on the penalty. It is still on the play, still 2nd down. So no matter how you do it, Wall still has 3 interceptions on the year, but the Cowboys had the turnover, but the penalty sets them back.
Dick, this defense that the Cardinals play is not unlike their offense in that it's a very impatient defense, and you never realize what they're going to do from one play to the next. Situation doesn't really matter. They blitz their safeties on 1st down, trying to create a lot of problems. Then they play normal zones. Then they blitz again when you least expect it. Big play here for this defense.
2nd down and 11. Dallas on the Cardinal 32. To the 1st down. He had to get to the 20-yard line. Carl Carter knocked him out of bounds. He had a lot of blockers in front of him.
Counter trade from the shotgun, pulling off tackle Darrell Smith, and the off guard Nate Newton pulling both guard and tackle. Then Walker coming across in the old counter trade that the Redskins used, except they did it from the shotgun and did a little under ball handling.
Good enough for a Dallas 1st down to the 21-yard line. Interesting that Tony Dorsett has not been in yet. Dorsett this week talked about his desire to be traded. He wants to be a main man, not a guy playing in the shadows of Herschel Walker. And lately, the Cowboys have been using him more. 1st and 10.
Main man days are over, I'm sure.
Pelluer getting rushed. He can run and gets tripped up at the 15. Freddie Joe Nunn tripped him up. Clasby applied the pressure.
I love this. I love seeing quarterbacks that are athletes, and this kid's an athlete. Sets up in the pocket. Clasby, 79, gets around his man, gets up inside. Now Pelluer's off running. I like this. I love it. And unfortunate, these coaches teach these quarterbacks not to run. Don't be a gifted athlete. Don't do the things that you can put a lot of pressure on the defense, because you'll get hurt and you'll never make it in this league running.
Tony Dorsett waiting for the opportunity. 2nd and 4 Cowboys with 30 seconds to go in the 1st quarter. And this play, miscommunication, and Pelluer may have the 1st down anyway. It was intended to be a handoff, and Lonnie Young made the play, and the Cowboys may have yet another 1st down.
Even with the safety blitz, Leonard Smith, 45, blitzing once again. It's the athletic running ability, the running ability of Pelluer, not the throwing ability, that probably is going to Leave the Cowboys an inch short.
That's about right. But, of course, the reason why coaches don't like quarterbacks to run is that you're going to have 2 on the team and another 2 on the taxi squad.
Well, that may be true, but one of the problems that you have with quarterbacks is that they're babied and they don't take care of themselves. They don't lift weights. They don't work out the way they should. And so consequently, you're going to get hurt. But if you can run with the football and get out of the break the line of scrimmage, 9 times out of 10, the quarterbacks that played today are bigger than the safeties.
That was Danny White.
Maybe not as tough.
Some of them may be. Elway is.
Yeah. Who else?
Not many. I mean, in the mold of an Elway, I don't think that there are many. You got to have that size to begin with. You had it.
Kelly.
You were a fish out of water in your area.
Kelly's another. He's a kid that can run. Big strong.
3rd down and an inch. And Pelur. Let's see if the Cardinals stopped him from getting that inch. The spot will mean it all right here for the Cowboys and the Cardinals. And it is a 1st down, so Pelur got the inch. So the turnover, Everson Walls on a fumble recovery on a pass off the hands of Awalt, and a 30-yard run has put the Dallas Cowboys in position to take the lead in this game. They trail St. Louis 3-0, and they may not get this play off. And they won't, and that'll do it for the 1st quarter. Cowboys threatened, but after 1 quarter here at Dallas, the Cardinals lead it 3-0. We start the 2nd quarter here at Texas Stadium. Dick Stockton and Terry Bradshaw, where the St. Louis Cardinals, if they beat the Dallas Cowboys, will go to postseason play for the first time since 1982. But the Cowboys are threatening. They have a 1st down on the St. Louis 11. Herschel Walker up the middle, and touchdown, Dallas. Yard run for Herschel Walker, his 6th rushing touchdown of the year.
Beautiful lead block by Timmy Newsome, fullback. Rafferty, as you can see, the center going, blocking back, and then Newsome getting the lead block on the linebacker, no one left, and Walker with the great power and absolute speed gets into the end zone.
6-3 Dallas, and Roger Ruzek getting set. Walker coming into the game needed 35 receiving yards for 700 rushing and 700 receiving on the year, 2nd time. There's a holdup right now. And now we're set to go. 6-3 the score. Pelur will hold for Ruzek. Conversion is good, and the Cowboys lead 7-3. It all happened on Walls' turnover. Now, I think the official stats people say it is an interception. But first, the touchdown by Herschel Walker. Walker scores, and the Dallas Cowboys lead the Cardinals 7-3. Touchdown early here in the 2nd quarter, and by Sikahema, going to the Pro Bowl for the 2nd straight year, is back deep for the St. Louis Cardinals. Derek McAdoo next to him in case the kicker Roger Ruzek wants to go to the other side. There was a 5-yard penalty called against the Dallas Cowboys that was measured off before the kickoff. This is McAdoo at the 10. And a good hard run back by McAdoo brings us to the 30-yard line. Let's go back to the play by Everson Walls that gave the Cowboys good field position. Now, the instant replay people said that Awalt had possession. That would make it a fumble recovery for Dallas. But if Awalt didn't have possession and the official stats say he didn't, it would go as an interception. So you be the judge. Did he have it or not? If he didn't have it, then it is an interception by Everson Walls, and his fourth, and that is what the official stats say. So give Walls his fourth interception of the year. Cardinals have a 1st and 10 on their own 30-yard line, now trailing 7-3. Mitchell, and so far has not been able to gain any headway against the Dallas Cowboys. That time, the #1 draft pick, rookie Danny Noonan, was in on the stop.
On 1st down, historically against the Cowboys, they play that flex defense, which is a reading defense, meaning they don't come off the ball. The tackles or the ends don't explode off the ball and rush the passer. They sit, engage, and read. That's why, as a quarterback, you want to throw the football because you're going to have plenty of time.
2nd down and 9. Lomax has Novacek and is knocked out of bounds close to the 1st down by Steve Diassi. Novacek had a touchdown against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Prior to his injury, had caught the most passes by a tight end in the NFC.
He lost his job earlier in the year. He was having an all-pro season. Awalt came on strong. He was also is having an all-pro season, and now Novacek having an opportunity to play and catches the ball very well. Both these tight ends catch the ball very well. Last year's the tight end productivity as far as TD receptions was 0. And this year alone, already 9 touchdown receptions by the tight ends of the Cardinals.
They're going to measure, and they appear to be short by an inch or so. By the way, Randy White has a bruised right ankle.
Number 64, offense, reporting as an eligible receiver. 64.
Gene Chilton is reporting as a tight end, which he has to do and which was announced. Randy White with the bruised right ankle. They're holding him out for this series, and that's why Danny Noonan is in there. 3rd down and 1 for the Cardinals, and Stump Mitchell has the 1st down beyond the 40-yard line.
Very key series for the Cardinals, and you will hear that mentioned a lot today from me because it is that every time they have the football in their hands, it is a key series. They have to match the Cowboys score for score. They're behind now. They need to drive the football down and score touchdowns. They don't need drop passes. Everyone has to make the spectacular happen right now.
They're at the 41-yard line in a 7-3 game. The Cowboys lead. 13:35 remaining in the 1st half. By Brooks, gets it off, and an incomplete pass. Novacek, the intended receiver, and Steve Diassi was defending downfield, but Brooks, a tackle, put great pressure on Lomax.
Cowboys after this game are going to have a good idea what type of linebacking core they're going to bring into camp next week, because all of them are having the opportunity to play. The backups, that is. Look at Diassi, 55. He has his back to the quarterback, but he's all over Novacek, the tight end. Good coverage.
There is Diassi, who had been a backup middle linebacker. 2nd down and 10. Jeffcoat got a hand on it. Normally, that's Ed Jones's job to bat down enemy passes.
Pressure up front. Notice the Cowboys with a man over the center, something they normally don't do. Get the pressure inside, but there's the ball knocked down by Jeffcoat. Danny Noonan, number 73, #1 draft choice from Nebraska. You notice was over the center. One of the talking Dallas is they may go to the 3-4 because he is a natural nose tackle.
Randy White is back in the game. 3rd down and 10 for the Cardinals on their 41-yard line. Lomax in the shotgun. The spread, they call it. And up the middle and nearly intercepted by Everson Walls. Roy Green was the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 4th down, and that was not one of Lomax's better passes.
Lomax with this, each incompletion will lose more and more confidence because this is not a normal game. This is a big game. Roy Green has his man beaten. The ball needs to be laid out. There's all that sideline to lay the ball up and allow this man with tremendous speed to get under it. Neal underthrows him, almost intercepted, loses a little bit of that confidence. He needs to play well.
Greg Horn, who has kicked well under pressure the last 2 games, and Kelvin Martin goes back for the Dallas Cowboys. Booming kick sends Martin back to the 10. Wolfley gets a hand on him, and out of bounds he goes. A return of 11, and Ron Wolfley, who also will be going to the Pro Bowl for the 2nd straight year because of plays like that on special teams coverage.
By Miller Brewing Company, sole sponsor of the U.S. Olympic Training Centers. Toyota, setting the standard for quality and value. And by U.S. Armed Forces, it's a great place to start.
Maybe they should be called the Dallas Armadillos. Who knows? There they are. That's a nice little mascot. Cowboys are leading 7-3. They'll have a first down on their own 22-yard line. The Cardinals lose. The Minnesota Vikings will go to postseason play, and they don't care how they get in. They've had 2 losses in a row to close out their regular season. Valor to Herschel Walker, and Walker doesn't get much. He ran right into Bob Clasby.
As a quarterback, the first thing you do when you come up to the line of scrimmage is glance around and find out where the strong safety is. Well, there he is, number 45, Leonard Smith. Now, what is he showing me? He's showing me he's fixing the blitz. It's man coverage. I'm going to make an audible, and I'm going to sling that baby downtown and try to score. That's the 4th time Leonard Smith has blitzed today.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Herschel Walker has gained 47 yards on 7 carries and has not caught a pass. Who had a great opportunity for an interception on the long, deep pass to Barksdale.
Beautiful route run by Carl Carter. He was the one that adjusted on the football and not the wide receiver that time. There's the blitz once again. Leonard Smith blitzing. Timmy Newsome picking it up. Glabsky getting inside and puts the pressure on Pallur, but Pallur had time to get the ball off. It was just overthrown and should have been intercepted by Carl Carter. Look at this route run by Carter. Beautiful. Now there's the shot by the tackle. Helmet in the ribs, in the stomach. That's not very much fun, and that will test your poise later on.
7 defensive backs for the Cardinals on 3rd down and 8. Pallur trying to go to Walker, and the pass was behind Herschel. And defending on the play was Tim McDonald, 2nd-round pick out of USC. There was a time where Pallur had a lot of time, and the pass just wasn't there, and that'll bring up 4th down. By Sikahema back.
The famous crossing routes by the receivers of the Cowboys. Walker out. Plenty of time. Man-for-man coverage. He beat his man, and Pallur just didn't get the ball to him.
Saxon will kick for the Cowboys. The sun is out on the left side of this field. Rain and fog yesterday in the Dallas area. The temperature's kind of chilly. Saxon and Sikahema will let it bounce, and it is not yet touched by a Cowboy, and Sikahema picks it up and knocked out of bounds at the 37. Jeff Rohr was there. The Dallas player who almost touched it was Victor Scott. A 39-yard kick by Saxon. The Cardinals trail, but they'll have the ball when we return. Back at Texas Stadium, Dick Stockton and Terry Bradshaw. The Dallas Cowboys broke a 4-game losing streak in knocking the Rams out of postseason play. They'd like to end up with 2 in a row and give St. Louis a disappointing finish. The Cardinals, who are looking for a sweep of the Dallas Cowboys for the first time in 17 years. If they win today, they beat them in the opener at Busch Stadium this season.
This game parallels the opening game between these 2 teams, in which the Cardinal offense did nothing for 3 solid quarters, and the Cowboys jumped out and took that lead. In 4th quarter, of course, they erupted.
1st and 10 at the 41. Stump Mitchell turning the corner and knocked out of bounds by Everson Walls at the 46. Neil Lomax last week with a brilliant game against Tampa Bay, but struggling so far this afternoon, completing just 6 of 17.
Well, last week's game was against Tampa Bay. They've only won one game, but this is a hated enemy to the Dallas Cowboys, and you can see by the percentage of completion and yardage that this game bears more importance. Consequently, you tighten up a little bit. You got to relax. Neil will certainly do that.
2nd and 5, Cardinals on their 45. And Stump Mitchell gets a first down, but a flag is thrown after the play. Ed Jones and Michael Downs on the stop, and by the looks on Neil Lomax's face, the penalty is against the Big Red. That'll nullify a first down.
Holding, number 63, offense, still 2nd down.
That's Tootie Robbins, the right tackle. Mitchell, as Terry mentioned, 3 straight games with 100 or more yardage. Has carried 8 times for 23.
I don't think it's necessarily the fact that he's only has 23 yards, but I find it odd that he's having to get his yardage against their best rush defense. I think they need to mix it up better, run when they think they're going to throw.
2nd and 13, back to the 38 of the Cardinals. They fake a draw. Lomax in trouble and is hit by Jeffcoat. That'll be an incompleted pass. Jim Jeffcoat, who had 14 sacks a year ago and only 3 this time, got to Lomax.
Excellent pocket by the Cardinals. Lomax continued to step forward that time. Stepped up, stepped up, stepped up, stepped up, and eventually he stepped into Jeffcoat and created the sack himself.
Lomax with his best year since '84. Though he's struggling today, that was the year he had Rod Dowhauer working with him. That combination worked well for the Cardinals, the quarterback coach. 3rd and 13, St. Louis. Lomax up the middle, and a great catch by J.T. Smith will give the Cardinals a first down in Cowboy territory at the 41. Smith made a great catch, and a 21-yard pickup. Victor Scott made the stop.
One of the great injustice of this year in the National Football League is that this guy didn't make it to the Pro Bowl. Beautiful route, nice throw. Now there's the effort we're talking about. This guy gives it to you. It just goes to show that a lot of people have a lot of friends they vote for. They don't necessarily look at the guys that contribute over the years, and this guy's done it.
Well, Mike Quick and Jerry Rice are the all-pro quarterbacks. Stump Mitchell gets his biggest gain of the day and close to another first down for St. Louis. He rambled off the right side. Steve Diassi and then Jeff Rohrer came in to make the tackle on Mitchell. Looks like he's getting heated up.
Mitchell's getting heated up. Lance Smith right guard and Tootie Robbins the right tackle. And the thing the Cardinals are doing is rushing to the left side of the Cowboys.
Shaken up is Stump Mitchell, and that would be a very big blow to the Cardinals. As you know, they've already lost their leading rusher on the year, Earl Farrell, who could be reactivated in the playoffs if St. Louis makes it. But now Stump Mitchell is shaken up, and Derek McAdoo would be his replacement. So while they work on Mitchell, timeout on the field. Well, good news for the Cardinals. Stump Mitchell, who is out of action with a sprained ankle momentarily, is back in there for St. Louis. Cowboys lead the Cardinals 7-3. Cards have 1st and 10 on their 36. And the pitch looks like a college wishbone attack to Mitchell. Didn't look very good. And maybe no gain on the play. Jeff Rohrer makes the stop. And speaking of college football, New Year's Eve day, CBS Sports presents the Mazda Gator Bowl live at 2:30 Eastern when the South Carolina Gamecocks take on the Fighting Tigers of LSU. And on New Year's Day, starting live at 1:30 Eastern, the Cotton Bowl. This year's Heisman winner, Tim Brown, will lead Notre Dame against Southwest Conference champion Texas A&M, who probably wish they had Terry Bradshaw once upon a time. The Aggies are making their 3rd consecutive Cotton Bowl appearance.
You bet.
It's a holiday lineup. Exciting college bowl action on CBS Sports. Lomax unleashes and completes the pass to Roy Green, and a first down into Cowboy territory. Good for 15 yards, and that's the second catch of 15 yards Green has made today.
Very few quarterbacks and receivers will run routes this deep. It's unusual to see this. And it's a read between Lomax and Green. Green simply runs down there, reads the safeties, and notice how he's slowed down. He just stops right there, and then Lomax pops him the football.
That's how explosive the Cardinals' passing attack can be. Lomax has hit his last 4. First down. Green again, and is hit and loses the ball. And Michael Downs jarred it loose, incomplete. Crunching hit by the veteran Michael Downs.
Play action to freeze the linebackers. It does for a second now. Right now, throw the ball. Way too late. Green gets over there. He has to set up and wait for the football. Wait, much too late. Could hit him much quicker than that.
Up here in the booth, you were using body English because you saw the guy open. You wanted that pass.
I saw it from the beginning because the Green was the primary receiver, and you pick him up, get him the ball quickly, and then allow him to turn upfield and run with the football.
Second and 10. Lomax going up top for Green again. And there's trip on the play. No flag. Everson Walls defending. Actually, it was Walls who tripped. The pass is incomplete. Lomax was going for the distance on that play.
Green on Walls, a classic matchup, a great defender against a great receiver. Right now, the ball should have been in the air and led back to the inside, which is where Green had the opportunity to catch it. When it's thrown back to the outside, as it is here, there's no way he can catch it. He makes the adjustment, but the ball hits Everson Walls.
Lomax's timing has been off, Terry, and I have to go back to your remarks in the beginning about getting really oversight and pumped up.
You can get oversight, and as a quarterback, you have to play it down, so you can concentrate, think, relax, and then go ahead and play your game.
3rd and 10 at the 48.
Just a game, right?
Not this one, more than that. Flag down, Lomax. Novacek incomplete. All Britain covering on the play, but a penalty marker down at the line of scrimmage. And it'll go against the Cardinals, and that'll bring up a 4th down. The penalty will be declined.
Illegal motion. 2 men moving at the same time. Declined. 4th down.
So Greg Horn will come in and kick it away for the Cardinals. And Kelvin Martin goes back deep for the Dallas Cowboys. So far, their defense causing 2 turnovers and stopping the St. Louis running game and the passing game for that matter. Horn. Martin. And returns it beyond the 25-yard line. They'll mark it at the 27. Return of 14 yards by Kelvin Martin, who is the rookie from Boston College. So Neil Lomax, whose timing just hasn't been quite there so far in this game, and the Cardinals trail by only 7-3.
And the offense that the Cardinals run, they run so many of those crossing routes, and the key to a crossing route is get the football to the receiver as quick as possible to allow him to turn up, because you create so many lanes, you cross through them, and then there's someone else waiting on you. That's what happened when Green got hit.
Look at the difference in first down. Cowboys have been very successful. St. Louis can't get off the ground. 1st and 10. Dallas on their 28. Allure with time. And he's got his man, Kelvin Edwards, complete. And out of bounds at the 48 for a first down. A 20-yard pickup to Kelvin Edwards, who did not catch a pass against the Rams last Monday night. Tom Landry, and a lot of people, after the comments by Bum Bright, the owner, and Tex Schramm, have come to Landry's defense. Not that they ever hinted that Landry wouldn't be back, but when you consider all he's done for this franchise, boy, George Young of the Giants said, "I'll celebrate when he hangs it up."
One of the things you fail to realize is the power that Tom Landry has. You hit on him, and you're going to find out he's got a lot of friends around this great country.
First down, Cowboys on their 48. Walker into Cardinal territory, and a first down. He picked his spots beautifully. quickly picks up 11 yards to the 41 of the Cardinals.
How can one back be so big and so strong and then have Olympic sprinter speed? I can't understand it. Where did I miss the boat? Just bopping in, bopping out like a bobber on the water, and then finally sees that little crack, just kind of eases in it, doesn't burst in there, and gets 11 yards. Makes it look simple.
Only averaging 7.2 yards a carry, that's all.
Said earlier in the season he wanted to play more. Well, he's the guy now. This is the main horse. The big cheese, I guess.
And Tony Dorsett has not played at all this afternoon. First and 10 Cowboys on the Cardinal 41. And Pelluer will carry, chased by E.J. Jr. Pelluer bounces off a couple of defenders and gets close to another Dallas first down. He's fun to watch, Steve Pelluer.
He's also just embarrassed one of the safeties for the Cardinals. Put his shoulder down, popped him. They came up thinking, well, this guy's just another quarterback. Let me give him a little shot. Gave him a shot, and he bounced off of him.
Pelluer did not have a good preseason. In fact, he was so much in a fog that they were so disappointed. They never thought that Pelluer was really ever going to amount to anything this year, the start he had.
Well, he lost his confidence after the horrible season he had last year, and he never had shown that he was over it. So they were very, very uncomfortable with him as a backup quarterback.
He gained 9 that time. 2nd and 1. Cowboys on the Cardinal 32. 3:35 to go in the half. Here's Walker again. And E.J. Jr. makes a fine play and a loss. Back to the 38-yard line by Jr. He's been bothered by a hamstring, but E.J. Jr. tracked down Walker that time.
Gene Stallings said that E.J. Jr. could be a real superstar in this league if they were in the 3-4 alignment where they could use him to blitz more. In the 4-3, he's not. He doesn't have the opportunity to blitz, so consequently he doesn't get the sacks, which brings the attention to him from the media and the fans. Everybody says how great and wonderful you are when you get sacks.
Also, the Cowboys, as a result of that 5-yard loss, are out of field goal range. 3rd down and 6 for Pelluer in the spread on the Cardinal 37. Here comes the blitz, and Pelluer gets rid of it and has Kelvin Edwards for the first down inside the 20. Cedric Mack on the stop, 21-yard pickup.
Live by the sword, die by the sword, live by the blitz, get burned by the blitz. Leonard Smith, 45, strong safety. This is his 7th safety blitz. Gets in there. He's ineffective. He doesn't put the hit on the quarterback, allowing Pelluer time to throw to Kelvin Edwards. Good tight coverage by Cedric Mack, but Edwards coming back for the ball makes the catch.
Pelluer has thrown 82 passes without an interception. First down, and here's Herschel Walker to the 11. Gain of 5. E.J. Jr. on the tackle, and we're winding down now to our 2-minute warning. Dallas leading and threatening here at Texas Stadium. Back at Texas Stadium, 2 minutes to go in the first half, and the Cowboys have snuffed out the Cardinals so far 7-3. If the Cardinals win, they will go to the playoffs. If not, the Vikings will go because of a better conference record. And St. Louis right now looks like, you know, they don't look like they were the yelling dogs when they came out.
No, that emotion can only carry you so far and so long, and then it finally fizzles out. It actually is draining. Looks to me like the Cowboys are playing with like the team that has a shot at the playoffs and not the Cardinals.
2nd and 5 at the 11. Herschel Walker. Open spaces, he'll get there. Touchdown, Dallas. 11-yard run. So Walker with 2 11-yard touchdown scampers, and Gene Stallings has a problem.
Well, he's got a problem, and that problem's Herschel Walker. How do you stop Walker? Fine job by Darrell Smith. Offside tackle as he comes out, gets the lead block, allowing Walker with the great sprinter speed to get around the corner and into the end zone. But all the momentum, all the adrenaline that's positive seems to be in the Cowboys side of the football field and not the Cardinals.
7th touchdown rushing by Walker. Roger Ruzek attempting the extra point with Steve Pelluer holding. And 1:54 showing on the clock. kick's good, and the Cowboys lead 14-3 after trailing 3-0 early. And Herschel Walker has been the man of the hour. And now it'll be interesting, Terry, with 3 timeouts for the Cardinals to see if Lomax can get his timing back and get his team in position for a score.
I'm only going to go on what he's done this year, and this Cardinal team this entire season has been a team of comebacks. Early, the first game between the Cowboys, they came back in the fourth quarter and threw for 170 yards in the fourth quarter alone. The following week, they 28 points come back against the Chargers, 28 points, the all-time NFL record against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This team has shown time and time again that it has the ability to come back. It seems like also it kind of urges them. They kind of feed on the fact that now they're behind, and I expect them to. I expect this team to explode, erupt, either third quarter, fourth quarter. We'll look for it to happen.
They were 2-5 on November the 8th and trailed Tampa Bay 28-3 in the third quarter. They rallied and won that game 31-28 in the greatest fourth quarter in NFL history. They've won 5 of their last 7, but when they lose by a whisker.
Lost by 4, by 7. Look at this. All of this from a team that Gene Stallings says he's just putting them together, just trying to get these guys to play. They're just learning the system, and yet they go out and they play very good football.
Sikahema is back along with Derek McAdoo. There's McAdoo on the right and Roger Ruzek kicking off for the Cowboys. 1:54 to go. That's not a meager amount of time left considering Lomax and the timeouts he had. Sikahema inside the 5 and brings it out to the 26-yard line, and that's where the Cardinals will go to work here. Bill Bates on the stop. Sikahema slow getting up. That was the scoring drive, 72 yards. The previous touchdown by the Cowboys was 69 yards, and Walker scored then as well.
This should be a fun series to watch because I like watching a team that has great receivers and a great quarterback. And a good offensive machine are these Cardinals. I expect them to move the ball down the field. I'll be disappointed if they don't. How's that?
All right. I'll be watching the face to see that disappointment. First down, Lomax. For Wolfley out on the flat. And he is stopped for no gain by Everson Walls. Maybe a yard or two. And the Cardinals in their 2-minute drill.
2-minute drill, simply 2 plays called in the huddle. Normally both on the same sound.
Lomax, 2nd and 8. An incomplete pass. It was J.T. Smith, the intended receiver, and again, Everson Walls covering. So quickly, it's 3rd down for the Cardinals on their 29.
I don't believe the routes so far are the kind of routes I'd want to see run. What the Cardinals are doing with their wideouts is just running down the field and hooking. Where's those crossing routes? Running from one zone area to another. Or if it's man, getting a guy in a trailing position. This is what they need here. Not little simple hooks, but crossing routes.
Cardinals need a 1st down, otherwise Dallas may get another opportunity. And the pass caught by Stuck Mitchell, and the crossing route was there, Terry. And a 1st down, stopping the clock with 1:19 to go. A pickup of 14 to the Cardinals. 43, and Ron Burton made the stop.
All the respect that Smith and Green take from these Cardinals, allowing the back Mitchell coming out by himself. There's Mitchell being shoved out of bounds. Remember now, he went out earlier with the sprained ankle, and there's the table with the towels and Gatorade and phone numbers and everything else over there. Almost got hurt.
First catch of the game for Mitchell, who's 2nd in receiving on the Cardinals. 1st down. The middle, J.T. Smith gets into Cowboy territory and near a 1st down. Ron Burton makes the stop. He was shy by a yard. Nearly a minute to go, and the Cardinals still have all 3 timeouts.
They're running read routes. Read the people, then adjust your route while you're on the run.
And Lomax tripped up by Ed Jones, and a penalty marker is down. Jones got Lomax in midfield and saved a 1st down, I believe. But there's a flag. And it appears to be against Dallas.
Illegal procedure. 12 men on the defense.
And that will be enough for a Cardinal 1st down.
Now it's starting to go the other way. Now we're seeing the penalties swing to the Cowboy side. But I like the routes that the Cardinals are running. They're running read routes, which means if there's a guy there, stop and go away from the coverage. Not too complicated, is it?
No.
If there's someone there, don't go there. Go the other way.
It'll be a first down, and they'll spot the ball on the Dallas 43.
What's Smerrick 60? Now, this is the 12th man on the field. Smerrick, he's the man trying to get off. He's the one the penalty was called on.
First down, Cardinals going for Troy Johnson. Penalty marker down, and Johnson was defended by Downs and by Robert Williams, and a flag is down. Troy Johnson. And the penalty will be against the Dallas Cowboys. And now the Cardinals are in great position with 51 seconds to go in the first half.
If this indeed is a penalty, I don't think it will be on Downs. It'll be on Robert Williams. He would be the one that would have to have crawled up the back of the receiver, Troy Johnson. Downs was actually coming over from his safety position.
They called pass interference on both people. How does that figure, Terry?
I don't understand that. That's like...
Have you ever seen that?
No, I don't agree with it. Someone committed a foul first. Who was it? Okay, there's Robert Williams. There's the right hand of Johnson pushing off.
And defensive pass interference.
I see more offensive pass interference than defense. We'll see if you can see. If Troy Johnson, the receiver, now he's going inside for the ball. What they're claiming is that Williams got in his line of route running, and therefore he calls the interference against him. But I can't. Doesn't make sense to me.
I believe only one flag was thrown.
No, there were two.
Two down?
Yeah, there were two.
Well, they'll do it again. 51 seconds to go. Cardinals still with the 1st and 10 on the 43 of Dallas. Still with 3 timeouts remaining. Lomax this time going for Roy Green, and Green has it and goes out of bounds. Another crossing pattern situation, and a first down just inside the 20. Manny Hendricks knocked him out of bounds, a gain of 24.
You see, Dick, when you run crossing routes and your people start trailing them, then they have a tendency to be picked. Now, this is a simple zone. Notice the defensive backs and linebackers sit down, but then the coverage is cleared out and Green comes underneath. As he saw the corner go deep, he just cut it off flat and came underneath for the reception.
He's had great games in his career against the Cowboys. He has caught 9 touchdown passes against Dallas. 1st and 10 at the 20. Lomax up the middle, and J.T. Smith tries to reach for it. Incomplete. Manny Hendricks defending.
Lomax pointing to a receiver, telling him, go up the field, go up the field. What Neil needs to realize is that when the receivers come across and they look him in the eyes, they can't read his mind. They just sit there and run their route. What Lomax did, he saw the back coming up, and that time he wanted Smith to go in behind him.
There's the time remaining. Each side still has 3 timeouts to go. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Cardinals. They're on the 20-yard line. St. Louis already in field goal range, but they're looking for the touchdown.
Everyone's got to be on the same page here. This is a critical down.
Lomax to Green, and Downs brings him down at the 11-yard line, shy of a first down, but the clock stops at 32 seconds, and St. Louis has called its first timeout. Cardinals have 2 timeouts remaining. The ball will be spotted at the 11-yard line. There's the timeout story and the clock, and it'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Cardinals. Well, coming up at halftime, the NFL Today, Brent and Irv with scores and highlights from around the league, and also a man called Sweetness. As the great Walter Payton is featured in what will be his last regular season game, coming up next on CBS against the Los Angeles Raiders. So that's coming up at halftime.
Walter Payton, hard to believe that he's going to retire. I remember, of course, playing in the All-Star game in Chicago when he was drafted. Came up out of Jackson State, and we played him up there. When they introduced him, in fact, he's the only one that got any applause. Everybody else kind of got booed.
Speaking of guys retiring, I know the Cardinal offense is out there, but Mike Renfro was thinking of it, and Renfro's had a good year. Talking to Gil Brandt on the field before the game, he says, I don't believe Renfro is going to retire because, you know, when you're making this kind of money, it's hard to walk away from it, especially when you're having a good year.
when you're having a good year, is the time to retire, especially at his age. Come back next year if there's injuries, and sure, the money I think would be something, but I don't care what people say. If you play just for the money, you're in a lot of trouble.
But it helps.
Oh, I don't. Hey, no question about that. It certainly helps, and it certainly is nice to have. But Renfro's been in and had a nice long career and has had a great year and a good way to finish it off.
3rd and 1. Lomax pressured, and the pass floated incomplete, and Troy Johnson and J.T. Smith crossed in the end zone, and they were defended there, and that was a free ball. Could have gone to anyone. There's a flag down as well, Terry, as we look at the play.
Another deep crossing route. Lomax hanging in as long as possible, threw the ball high, hoping that his receiver could out-jump the defensive back, which in most cases they can. It was just a little bit too long for J.T. Smith.
Holding. Defense number 26. First down.
Whoa.
Michael Downs holding, and an automatic first down for the Cardinals.
I'm surprised that the Cardinals weren't showing more emotion than that, and looking at them, you'd have never known it was against the Cowboys.
1st and goal at the 6 for St. Louis with 28 seconds remaining in the first half. Lomax to Wolfley out of bounds at the 2-yard line. 23 seconds remain. Vince Albritton on the hit. The Cardinals have done it without using more than one timeout thus far. They're trailing the Cowboys 14-3. And Gene Stallings' crew has scored 3 touchdowns or more in 12 of 14 games this year. And now the Dallas Cowboys call a timeout.
Works right into Lomax's hands. He has the 2 timeouts left now. He has 3 plays left. Plenty of time to go on and talk to his coach. And if I were them, I would say, Coach, let's do some play action. Green Bay, look at this. New Orleans coming back at halftime.
Atlanta over Detroit 13-10.
They don't want the number 1. They couldn't hardly sign the one they had last year.
That's true. The Giants and the Jets in the battle for bragging rights in New York. The Giants want to finish strong. Jets reeling. Philadelphia at halftime over Buffalo.
Look out for those guys next year.
Now Seattle, they'll be in the playoffs. If they win and Denver loses, Seattle wins the AFC West. They could be a wild card, but they're looking for the home field in the wild card, and they need a win over Kansas City, especially if Houston goes on and beats Cincinnati 21-7.
A lot of speculation here that Sam Weish will be the guys you see the coach scored. He might be the guy that one of the coaches that's not going to be coaching next year in the National Football League, as the Bengals, who expect so much from them, have fallen flat on their face. I was saying earlier, this is a grand time. Do you run? You've got your 2 timeouts left. You could, but with these great receivers and all these crossing routes, I got to look for a pass.
2nd and goal at the 2. And that's what they'll do. Lomax has Smith, touchdown, St. Louis. He beat Manny Hendricks, and J.T. Smith has caught his 8th touchdown pass of the year, and the Cardinals have come back.
Is this a big game? If we win this game, the Cardinals go to the playoffs. Look at this. You bet it's a big game. Stalin slapping that playboard up alongside his thigh. Yes, sir. Well, they didn't want to disappoint me, and they didn't.
No, you look like you're a cheery guy right now in the booth. You show no signs of disappointment.
Well, you expect a lot from great offenses, and it's disappointing when they don't deliver.
14-9. Del Greco trying to add the 10th point. And the kick is good, and it's 14-10 with 20 seconds remaining. The Cardinals have had to struggle despite the fact that they have turned it over twice, giving Dallas 2 good opportunities, but they're in the ball game. 14-10, Dallas leading with 20 seconds remaining, and the Cowboys obviously called the timeout because they figured that if St. Louis scored, they wanted to have a little room to try to muster up something.
And that's one of the reasons. The other reason was they realized that the Cardinals did not take their wide receivers out and go into a goal line offense, and so that gave Dallas an opportunity to bring in defensive backs and match up against the Cardinals. Of course, it didn't help them because they completed the touchdown pass anyway.
Coming up next, the Bears and the Raiders. A lot of defensive changes for the Chicago Bears today. Duerson moves back to free safety. Fensick, I believe, is going to start, the veteran.
Perry, he's out at tackle.
He's out. Gallery will kick off for the Cardinals, and back for Dallas, Kelvin Martin and Darryl Clack. Clack on the left. 20 seconds to go. And a squig kick, and Clack having problems with it inside the 10. That's not what Tom Landry had in mind. And Dallas will start from inside their 10 with 17 seconds to go.
I was talking about matching up defensive backs with receivers at the goal line. The Cardinals stayed with their regular people. Smith's in motion, but the problem here is that the back covering him is behind him. He's trailing, allowing right off the bat open Smith to get in, make the catch for the touchdown.
And for Neil Lomax, his 24th touchdown pass of the year, and a couple of moves after the catch.
Little boogie there
by JT.
Maybe that's why he didn't get in the Pro Bowl. He didn't get the dance enough in the end zone.
Scoring drive by the Cardinals, and they did it in a hurry. 17 seconds to go in the first half. Herschel Walker.
Gosh, that was a funny way to run with a football, wasn't it? It's like they tell him don't fumble, so he kind of runs around squatted there and just lays down.
Well, he did his job. He didn't fumble as time runs out, and that is the end of the first half at Texas Stadium. With the score, the Dallas Cowboys 14, the St. Louis Cardinals 10.